is up? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day. Back here with some more Resident Evil 4 remake content for you. And today I'm making a follow-up video to my previous video, which I made on New Year's Eve, talking about how I would personally design an Ada Wong style Resident Evil game. Now, I enjoyed a lot of the feedback from you guys. I love a lot of the comments. I like hearing from your perspective as well, not just hearing from my own. But there was one comment I saw a lot of, and it prompted me to make this as a follow-up because I wanted to elaborate a little bit more on it. And it's my own fault for not talking more about it because it's something that is probably the biggest trepidation in terms of having an Ada Wong style Resident Evil game where she is the main character, just because people are a little worried about this. And it's a reasonable worry. It's not something that's just out of the blue, but I wanted to address my feelings on it and how I personally feel about this. So without further ado, let's get into this. And what is this whole worry about? Is the whole worry that if we reveal Ada, if we have her own game and you reveal a lot about her, it's going to ruin the mystique, the mystery of Ada, because Ada basically is a mysterious character. Now I'm going to say this straight up, I completely 100,000% disagree with that, because I look at it from a completely different perspective. But I also understand why people have that, and I do get it, because I do believe there are certain things that you don't want to ruin the mystique or mystery of certain things. I'm going to give you a prime time example of it right now with this one. And that is with the Xenomorph from Alien. Obviously I love Alien, I love the Alien franchise, I love the first two movies. Alien Isolation is one of my favorite horror games. I'm happy the VR game was really good as well. Can't wait for part 2. But the Xenomorph is a prime example where I understand that argument. Ruining the mystique kind of ruins the Xenomorph, because I am not a big fan of some of the later movies, especially Prometheus and Alien Covenant, just because I feel like when you try to explain so many things that were never really explained in earlier Alien movies, that kind of ruins the mystique, because the alien is this unstoppable, unkillable creature that constantly breathes, and I just like the fact that this comes out of nowhere. It's the ultimate life form. We really don't have any explanation, not just with that, but the space jockeys. That's something I like to leave up to interpretation between audiences, not something where it explains, where they come from, how they did this, how do we get from point A to point B. That's something I do 100% agree with. So with the Xenomorph revealing more about it, I think that was a mistake. I wish it was just left, up to interpretation and more mystery and mystique than just revealing how things work. But getting back with Resident Evil, I don't agree with this whole standpoint with Ada, because there's a big difference between a Xenomorph and Ada. Ada is an actual character, but she's not just any character. Guys, she's not a brand new character. Ada Wong has been in Resident Evil since 1998, with Resident Evil 2 being her debut. That's over a quarter century. Like, Ada Wong is not this whole brand new, spanking new character that comes out of nowhere, and we're still trying to learn more about her, even though we technically are, but you get my point. She's not somebody that we see and we're just all shocked by it. She's been featured pretty prominently in the Resident Evil games. I mean, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 6. 3 main time titles right there. She's also been in a couple remakes. She's had a CGI appearance, some other crossovers with games and stuff like that, and other crossover games and side games, etc., etc., etc. The whole kit caboodle there. But my point being is that it's not like this character just pops out of nowhere and we haven't seen them in 15, 20 years, and that's the whole point of them just being hidden all the time. Even Ada herself says, hiding in the shadows is not my style. I gotta come out and reveal myself eventually. But my point still stands. Ada is not somebody that you can just do the same thing in terms of the whole mysterious thing and get away with it forever. Because I look at it like this. If you want to keep saying, they're mysterious, when does mysterious just get boring and tiresome and tedious and stale and just expired? I mean, I would rather you try to do something and maybe come up a little bit short than to just do nothing and just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. I mean, hell, look at my old school Call of Duty days. I mean, I used to play Call of Duty every single year like it was a religion. I mean, I just played it nonstop, but eventually, when you don't change up things and keep doing the same thing, it just gets tedious to the point where you just don't care anymore. And I don't want that to happen with Ada, because I do love Ada, but once again, I'm speaking from an Ada Wong fan. I can see a lot of non-Ada fans looking at it what does she really do? She pops up mysteriously, and we don't know why she's here, where she come from, how long she's been there, has she been watching us, kind of thing she does in every game. And then she randomly, does what she's got to do, and then just as quickly as she popped up, she's gone. And no explanation, no what. And that's fine for a game or two, but when you've been doing the same thing for 3 games plus the remakes, it's like, can we get some new material? And that's all I've been asking for, is some new Ada Wong material. I'm not saying you have to reveal every single solitary thing about her, because I don't want that either. But give me something more to, I guess, bite my teeth into. I mean, like, I'm not saying, I don't want, like, personally, I don't want to know about Ada's family in terms of, oh, like how she grew up, where's family. I don't really necessarily need to know that. They can leave that inconspicuous for all I care. I like just to know more about, how she got into the line of work. All the people she's associated that we haven't seen on screen, as well as seeing people that she could associate with that she's never associated with on screen that are not named Leon. Because, I love Leon, but, I get tired of seeing, oh, Ada can only interact with Leon. Why can't she interact with some of the other characters more often? Just see how those interactions would go and how they would feel with someone like Ada Wong, being that character that's kind of on both sides of the spectrum, dancing back and forth, being a double, triple agent, playing everyone for fools. How do they think about that? Do they trust her? Do they not trust her? Does he have a reputation? I mean, you could have so many things you could do. I mean, and how does this all weigh on her? Does she like what she does? Does it weigh on her? Does she put on a mask? As I said, we still don't know her actual real name. Ada Wong is probably more likely a cover, but my point still stands. Like, there's so many things we don't know, but how many times can you feature the character so prominently and not do anything with the character? It's just going to get tedious and tiresome. And as I said, I'm an Ada Wong fan, but I can't speak for the non-Ada fans because they might not be a big fan of that because they're just getting tired of it. They're sitting there saying, well, hey, other major characters, they've had big changes. They've shown that. Why is it that with Ada Wong, it's just like they don't want to do anything? And that's my thing, why I say this whole mysterious mantle is more just a lazy crutch for Capcom to lean on, because they either A, don't want to do anything with the character, or B, just they don't have any ideas to do anything, or just too lazy to want to do anything. I mean, come on now, Capcom. Like, Ada Wong is a top 5 popular character in the Resident Evil fandom. She's definitely a character that has a lot of fans. People obviously want to see more of her. Why do you have to be so lazy? Like, as the Joker said, why so serious? Why so lazy? Like, seriously, you could do so many things. I'm not a story writer, people. I'm just thinking of things off the top of my head. But damn, you could do so many things with Ada. Like, holy crap. But all they want to do is the same exact thing. So, if, hypothetically, I know it won't happen, but if Resident Evil 9 comes out, and, Ada magically is in that game, what are they more likely to do? Oh, we'll just have it where she's with Leon again. They do the same thing over and over and over again. And it probably ends the same way, just like the other 3 games. And it's just like, we've seen that over and over. It's like booking a wrestler for 5 years straight to literally fight the same match, wrestle the same match, and the conclusion is the same result every single time. You don't think people get tired of it? No, you have to give it a different coat of paint. You have to go from either a, colorful Surfer Sting to Crow Persona Sting, for an example. But I'm not saying Ada Wong's got to be a completely different character, but give me more insight of her, how she sees things, how she perceives different things, how she looks at the world, how she feels about different relationships with other characters, how she feels about being loneliness. I've always wanted to explore her loneliness because she's got to be the most loneliest character in the franchise, because outside Leon and maybe Helena, who really honestly gives a damn about Ada or even knows anything about her or even thinks she's even alive. So that's something I've always wanted to see them explain. That'd be a really character power driven story. And everyone was saying, oh, well, it won't make her cool. Guys, every human being's got emotions. There's no emotionless robot characters, and nobody wants emotionless robot characters because they're not fun anyway. But Ada's got a lot of emotion, a lot of things she can show off and do that would make her extremely cool. I mean, she's already cool and badass. We don't need, to prove that. Everyone knows that. But be even more cooler, more badass by delving more into who the woman Ada Wong really is. That's all I ask. You not have to reveal every single solitary step among the journey, but just do something fun. Maybe have a fun spy, espionage thriller and stuff, Show why she's kind of like the Black Widow or the James Bond of the Resident Evil universe. And that's all I ask. But at the end of the day, I hope I made that point clear. But I do understand where people's little fear coming from. But I'm more like risk it to win it. If you play safe for too long, then you're just going to get left behind. But at the end of the day, that is my opinion. I want to hear your guys' opinion. Do you think Capcom's whole mysterious man with Ada is just lazy and is just them not willing to do anything or try anything? Let me know down in the comment section down below. But thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy this video, and hopefully I can see you guys back in the next one. Thanks, and I'll see you all later. Peace.